right, so let's go ahead and take it out for a drive. It's very simple. Just release that little button right there and we can go straight into drive. All right, so like I mentioned, this model right here features the 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, producing 191 horsepower and 181 foot-pounds of torque. Now, all that power is sent through an 8-speed automatic transmission to the front wheels or all 4 wheels, because this is a GT line. But setting off over here, really good acceleration. This is actually very, very smooth. I've driven it before when the GT line or the K5 refresh came out. Very impressed with the overall, format of how you're accelerating. Really good low-end torque actually for this vehicle, especially in having a naturally aspirated compared to a turbocharged engine. This is actually really good low-end torque. Now, mind you, I am basically at sea level, so when you get up to the mountains, it might be a little bit different. But for being over here in the state of Florida, it's actually not too bad. So going around this curve, really good turn in. Oh, this car feels great. All right, so let's go ahead and get around this XM. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to like the actual performance of this vehicle, it's actually very, very good. I love the way that this engine has felt ever since they launched it with the K5 GT line. I think it's really good performance, great low-end torque, and also the transmission. The fact that this does not feature anymore the 1.6 liter turbocharged engine is a huge benefit. I know that some people might say, well, the GT line should have, some type of turbo engine. Realistically, this is enough performance that you need. That 1.6 liter turbo was not the best, and in terms of reliability, that 7-speed DCT transmission is actually a lot worse. I know people that have had, models that had that exact same 7-speed DCT, and they did not like that overall way of the transmission. It's very clunky and it's very weird in the morning. Once you get into this vehicle, you'll be able to drive off and you'll be set for good. All right, so in terms of low speed, it's actually not that bad at all either. Very, very good. 6 miles per hour, not bad. This is Florida for y'all, if you guys ever wondered. But let's go ahead and accelerate. And I will say the NVH, when it comes to this vehicle, is actually really, really good. You don't really hear too much of those tires. I mean, especially since they're all-season tires, and I'm sure these are run-flat tires as well. You don't hear too much of the wheels spinning whenever you are driving. I'm sure whenever you're at 70 miles per hour, it does change that. But for this right now, as we're driving, it's actually not that bad. It's actually a lot better than what the Toyota Camry has. The Toyota Camry has a lot of MVH. There's so much coming out from the exterior, and the same thing goes for the Honda Accord. The Honda Accord doesn't really have that good of sound deadening underneath the hood, which is what Kia provides for these vehicles. All right, so let's go ahead and actually put it into sport mode. Let's see how this car feels when you accelerate. I'm also going to put it into the M mode, or the shift points. Really good pickup. I mean, this is exactly what you expect from this engine. Very, very good pickup. Great acceleration. The front wheel drive, even though it is a open differential at the front, it actually picks up really good. You don't feel too much of the wheel slip, and I'm sure with the all-wheel drive version, you're not going to feel it at all. But there is a little bit of wheel slip, but it's not anything too crazy like some of these other vehicles within the competition space. This one's actually going to be a lot better. And I want to say really quick, so seeing out of this vehicle right now, really good visibility. Out the front windshield, the side of the vehicle as well when you're looking around the sides. Remember, this does have the blind spot detection already enabled for this vehicle, so just keep that in mind. But it's really good. I mean, the visibility out here on this car is amazing, and especially looking at that rear quarter window on the back section, which I'll show you really quick, is right over there. It's really, really good. I mean, you're going to be able to see out of this vehicle very, very easily. And I'm very impressed by this car. I mean, great economic. The fuel economy is actually really good. I'll put up the fuel economic key in terms of what you're going to get for city as well as highway use. But it's actually going to be a lot better compared to getting the GT1, which the GT, yes, it does offer, 311 horsepower, if I'm not mistaken. This one offers less, but realistically, let's be honest, this is all you need as a daily commuter. I mean, the looks are amazing. The tech is great in here. You're going to be able to be future-proof because this has over-the-air updates, so don't worry about that. You have wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you have a wireless charging pad. Great amenities in here. The seats are extremely comfortable, especially the bolsterings on the side. These hug you a lot better than what you'd find in a Honda Accord, a Camry SE or XSE, as well as the Sonata with the N-Line version. These are going to be a lot better than those seats. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like the overall design of the K5? I think that they nailed it out of the park since the very beginning of this generation. And honestly, I can't wait to see what they come up with next. There could be a refresh coming out again for this model, which would get the K4 styling. But right now, I mean, those are just spy shots, so we don't know exactly when that's going to come or if it's going to be coming. A lot of things can always change in the future, but really, honestly, great car, great performance. When you put it in sport mode, has low end torque, and, it's just snappy. It's, fast. The transmission, the mapping for the transmission is actually very, very good. It's one of the best ones in the segment. And keep in mind, the Camry is a CVT. It's an eCVT because of the hybrid only. The Honda Accord CVT and eCVT as well. The only one in this space that has a regular automatic transmission is the Sonata and the K5. That's it. You're not going to be able to find another mainstream brand sedan for the value with a regular automatic transmission rather than a CVT. And to be frank, I mean, I've driven cars that have CVTs. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. I just prefer having a traditional automatic transmission. They're better when it comes to gas mileage. You don't have that rubber band feeling or where your gear is being held out at the brim and you feel like your engine's about to explode. With this one, you don't have to worry about that. But very good vehicle all in all. And I think the Kia is killing it as of late. Well, not even as of late. They've been killing it for some years now. All right, so let's go around this curve. That's just amazing. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a huge shout out to South Dade Kia for allowing me to film this vehicle. If you guys are interested in purchasing this Kia or any other Kias, make sure to go ahead and contact Angel V. He'll be able to assist you. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.